Hi, welcome to Moina Bass Fish's World Headquarters. Here we are. If you'd like to have an appointment for a tour of the World Headquarters, there ain't one. Anyways, I'm here to talk about the recent Bass Pro Shops U.S. Open National Team Amateur Team Tournament, something like that. It's got a let's get the name right. Bass Pro Shops U.S. Open National Fishing National Bass Fishing Amateur Team Championship. That's the name of the tournament. And that was just held this last weekend on Table Rock Lake. My biggest takeaway from this tournament is now myself and all the other old school pros have another young stud to worry about. And that would be the winner of this tournament and his partner. What was his name? Tucker. I mean, I'm sure I'll be seeing this plenty in years to come. This guy's name, Tucker Smith and Logan Parks. So why am I saying these are guys to be concerned about in the years ahead in the realm of professional bass fishing? Because after all, this was an amateur tournament. These guys are amateurs, and they won the first place amateur prize, which there was only an amateur prize because there were no pros in this tournament. Well, here's the reason why I think this is somebody you got to watch out for, because it's no accident that he won this. First of all, it's the first time you've ever been to this lake, Table Rock Lake. So to go into a lake you've never been to before and win the darn tournament against 350 other boats, well, technically 349 other boats, because you are one of those 350. But anyways, that's quite the achievement in itself. But in reading a little bit about this tournament, the results, well, that's the funny thing. The results are very hard to come by on this. The little bit that I know about this tournament is from a article on bassfan.com written by Pete Robbins. So this is kind of where some of this information is coming from. But this Tucker Smith is a 3-time Bassmaster National High School champion. 3 times National High School. It's not a mistake he won at Table Rock. It is that, or at least that he did well, and he did win. It is no mistake when you have 3 national victories already in your stable. You just added a 4th, and not only that, according to Pete Robbins, he also nearly became the collegiate Bassmaster qualifier for this upcoming Bassmasters Classic. He just narrowly missed that. So that is the takeaway I have from this tournament is, by golly, Tucker Smith is going to be a thorn in the side of all of us old guard pros, and every pro really, if he decides to go that route in the future, which why wouldn't he? The guy apparently's got it going on pretty good. So congratulations to those 2 guys. That's awesome. The other thing I'd like to mention is apparently they raised, I think I found this in a different article on the tournament. They ended up raising like a little over $1.5 million for fish habitat restoration on Table Rock Lake. So congratulations to those efforts. It makes me wonder why, hey, let's do this every year. Next year, let's move it to both shows. The year after that, let's move it to Grand Lake and just move this tournament around so that whatever the host lake is, there can be another $1.5 million raised for each host lake. So that'd be a pretty cool thing. Of course, now I'm spending other people's money, so it's always easy to do. So, but it was very, very cool that they were able to do that with this tournament. And every fisherman, whether you're a tournament fisherman or not, you're going to benefit from habitat restoration on a lake. So very cool. And I guess the last thing I want to say is Here it is. What is it? Tuesday. It's Tuesday, so Sunday was the finals, so we're a couple days now removed from the end of that tournament, and it's still hard to find results from this tournament. I mean, we know who the winners are. They had a little over 16 pounds. They had about 16 and a half pounds of bass for the 5 fish limit. I don't know who second place was. I don't know who third place was. I don't know anything. I mean, there was one guy I know from Minnesota that was in it. I only know that by word of mouth because I never saw the roster of all the competitors. And I went over the the website for this tournament quite extensively, and I don't know if I just overlooked it, but I never saw the roster for all the people in the tournament. And then to this day, there's still not any results posted on their website. So I'm sure that'll come eventually. But it would have been kind of, before the tournament went off, it would have been kind of interesting to see, hey, who from, in my case, I'd like to know who from Minnesota is in the tournament. I know a guy by the name of John Figge was in that tournament. But who else from Minnesota? Anybody else? And you may as well might have been wanting to do the same thing, wherever you're from. Maybe you're from Kentucky and you wanted to know, hey, who's from Kentucky's in this tournament. But anyways, congratulations to Tucker Smith. I got a feeling those words will be uttered and spoken more than once down the road. And bottom line, if I'm gonna compete with these guys, the bottom line for any fisherman competing in pro tournaments, man, we gotta stay on top of our game. We gotta improve our game. We gotta study the game. Never quit learning, and I won't. And I've actually, I don't know. I'll have to do a whole nother video on the actual studying and learning of bass fishing because there's some interesting points to be said there. Anyways, that's enough of that. See you next time. Over.